The mic is my fault, sorry. Thanks, Pat. So I can't be the only person in the room tonight that believes that the Make-A-Wish Foundation should really be called the Second Best Thing Foundation. Because we all know what those kids are wishing for. A trip to Disneyland that cures cancer. So I killed so many people. Playing the Oregon Trail as a kid that I really should be brought up on manslaughter charges in the real world. I used to take all the kids who bullied me mercilessly in high school and make those fuckers my family and run them as hard as I could until they died. I'd be like, oh, Dan Burgess, eat this 250 pounds of bison meat I hunted for you. Oh no, dysentery? Oh shit, well we gotta move on at a reckless pace. Oh no, my wife Al Park was just bitten by a rattlesnake. But we gotta make it, well, no time to stop because we gotta make it to Fort Lambert by the spring. Stop crying, Josh Poirier. I was a bit self-loathing as a kid. So I believe that being a geek is the worst addiction you can have because we spend as much money on video games, DVDs, and comic books as your average crackhead spends on crack. Thank you, crackhead in the audience. The main difference is that if you've got extra crack, someone might suck your dick for that crack. No one's sucking your dick for an extra copy of Ultimate Spider-Man #2. And if they did, would you really want that blowjob? So I play a lot of video games, and the worst innovation ever put into video games was the timer that tells you how long you played a certain game. Now I'll admit that I was actually a little bit impressed when I found out that I beat Final Fantasy VIII in 38 hours. Go me. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately, and I looked at the time on that, and I realized I've been playing that game for 33 days, 23 hours, and 15 minutes. I'm gonna let that sink in, because that's a fucking month. I actually played that game longer than most soldiers spend in battle. And I think about all the things I could have been doing with that time, like going back and beating Fallout 3, or starting Red Dead Redemption, or finishing Final Fantasy VIII in 36 hours. Because that would be an achievement. So I'm going to admit something to the crowd here today that I don't usually admit, but I've not always been the best person. I used to actually go out to bars, hit on the drunk chick, slip something into her drink, wait for her to take me back to her place, and then wait for her to pass out. And then I would loot her stuff, burn her apartment to the ground, and claim the territory as my own. I used to date pillage. So I ran into one of these blind citizens that likes to swing the cane from one side to the other as hard as they can. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wow, that guy's a dick. And I thought to myself, wow, Josh, that's really awful to think a blind person's a dick. But then I was talking to a friend of mine who works with blind people, and I found out that even blind people think those blind people are dicks. So I felt justified. And I figured, well, let me see what other stereotypes I think are true. So I went on a quest to find that out. And I found out that that kind of quest just gets your ass kicked by a rainbow of nationalities. Now, there's actually a certain publishing company that's changing a word in Huckleberry Finn. I'm not going to say what that word is because that's evil, but they're changing the word to slave. And because they think it makes it more PC, and it doesn't really. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, well, maybe they should change it to neighbor, because that'll make it better. I'm not sure, yeah, that does make it better, but it does change some things in the real world. Like, I no longer know what State Farm sells. Mr. Rogers is now the king of gangster rap. And the Ku Klux Klan just changed their name to the Neighborhood Watch. Man, you know something? Al can probably attest this, but stand-up is a workout, man. We're up here for like 5 to 8 minutes a night. Man, I'm feeling the burn now. And maybe I'm just out of shape because I really shouldn't be getting winded telling jokes. I'm actually on Weight Watchers, and I don't think I'm doing it right because, as I said, I'm a gamer, and we're always taught to go for the most points. I'm just beating my high score every day. Now, I did used to play sports as a kid. I was on a baseball team, and the coach actually said to me one day after a bad game, he said, you know, Josh, there's no I in team. So I looked him straight in the eye and said, well, there is a U in stating the obvious. And he said to me, he said, well, there's a B in benched. So that's why I don't play sports anymore. So we just had Valentine's Day just went by. Everybody enjoy Valentine's Day?
Not so much.
Okay, well, it's kind of a divisive subject, I guess. I didn't know that. But I realized that Valentine's Day is actually one of 2 holidays that a man can trade candy for sex. The other one's Halloween. But I'm not ready to talk about October 1986 yet. Not ready. So to lighten it up a little bit, they had that hubbub with the 13th astrological sign. Ever hear about that?
Yeah.
And they decided that that one was wrong, so they got rid of it. But I think they may have gotten rid of the wrong sign, because haven't we been trying to beat cancer for years? Oh, come on, that joke's better than you let on. Think about it. All right, I'm just going to leave you with this, because actually I'm up here and I'm trying to follow my dreams. And, you know, in the course of following my dreams got nervous, called the cops. So now I have to stay outside of 100 yards of my dreams. My dreams unfriended me on Facebook. And I hate all my dreams' new boyfriends. So basically what I'm trying to say is, don't follow your dreams. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Heckley. I have to say, I had a low self-esteem experience a while ago.